What's going on, everybody? Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of the Legion of Raw. I'm here with the former WWE. Look, listen, let me hold on a second. So we just had the 30th anniversary of WWE Raw, and we had some of the best names of all time in the late 90s. We had Stone Cold, we had The Rock, and we had The Undertaker, and we had Mick Foley. And we had a whole bunch of legends. So out of all of those people, there was The Undertaker, who came back as ABA Taker, which we'll talk about. And no Stone Cold, no Rock, no Foley. Triple H was there, but it was just a big cluster mess with DX. Vince Russo, the legends, well, once again, they dig in the same people. Please tell me Aaron R. Shyster, although, I'm a big fan of Rotunda. His son was there tonight too, Bray Wyatt. But Aaron R. Shyster and Ted DiBiase and people like that, what are their relevance to the Raw program?
Bro, I have to ask. I'm just curious, bro, if people are turning this down. They're either turning it down or getting snubbed. It's one of the two. Yeah. Mick Foley not being there. I don't know if Mick has heat with the company. I don't know. But Mick Foley not being there doesn't feel right.
Right.
Now I could see maybe, Kevin Nash, being invited, but maybe because of the tragedy with his son. Even though, bro, that was a couple of months ago, and this might have been something to lift Kevin's spirits, to see his old friends and hang with them again. But. Yeah, bro, I'm just wondering if they go down a list and maybe they got snubbed by some people. I don't know. But here's the funniest thing to me, bro. Even at that level, they're still ribbing the same people.
Yeah.
And bro, you're gonna fly Diamond Dallas Page from Atlanta, where he runs a very, very, very successful business.
Oh, a polka segment.
Bro, they're still ribbing the guy. That's Bruce, bro. I'm telling you, wow. That is Bruce Pritchard. You're retired, bro, and they're still freaking ribbing you.
For a polka segment, ladies.
Oh my gosh!
You fly in Medusa for a polka segment, and this wasn't. Lita, Trish.
That's what I'm saying
here. Jacqueline.
Those are gimmies like every year, right?
Yeah. It would make perfect sense if Damage Control did the whole gimmick when they were attacking Becky Lynch. And then Lita and Trish came in and made the save. That would have been perfect.
Bro, I'm going to throw this out there too. First of all, Mick, I know Mick is very, very, very political. So, there could be political reasons why Mick isn't there. I don't know. I'm wondering, bro, when you throw out Lita and when you throw out Trish, who usually appear on everything, bro, I wonder if this had anything to do with the Vince allegations. I wonder if this had anything to do with paying off Rita Chatterton.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't know, bro.
Kind of
Listen,
standing up for the cause type of deal.
yeah, bro. Listen, I'm telling you. Listen, there are some people, bro, that if Vince McMahon were convicted of murder,
Yeah.
they would still be there like that.
Yeah.
But there are other people that may be looking at what's going down with Vince and don't want to be on a show and be represented that way. So I don't know, bro. Maybe that's part of the reason why we had to dig a little bit in that barrel this year. Who knows?
It could be. It just doesn't make any sense to me that of the names that they chose. I mean, like, you have a bunch of people just in the back for poker segments. You had DiBiase and Shyster being featured. They were a team back in the they were a legit team back in the early 90s. But I mean, as far as Raw presence in the 30 years, little to none. I mean, and then again, like I said, Foley. I mean, Edge was super instrumental in Raw throughout the 30 years, and he's still an active member on the roster, and there was no Edge. I mean, like, there's so many people that just didn't make sense to me, like that were there, but even more so to me, the people that weren't there. It just didn't make sense to me. And like you said, it could have been people just saying no. Like, why wouldn't they bring in the Dudleys? I mean, they were in Philly, ECW town. I know that they just let go of Devon, but I mean, did they perhaps turn it down? But why wouldn't they turn it? I mean, why would they turn it down? It's not like
Bro, Bubba talked about that a little bit today on Busted Open, and he said that he got a phone call.
Okay.
And that he would have done something if they could have given another team a rub. Like, that's what he would have wanted to do. And he even brought up the Alpha Academy. But he made it seem like that's not what was proposed to him. Therefore, he turned it down. That's kind of how I read it.
Wow. So turning down the 30th anniversary of Raw is even an option. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I understand why people are doing it, but if you think about just where WWE has gone nowadays, that people are turning down the 30th anniversary show of Raw, and this is a big, supposed to be a big show.
Chris, I just have to tell you, man, bro, we are about a week after Vince settling with a woman who accused him of rape.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, like, seriously, like, bro, listen, I'll be honest with you. With everything that went down with Vince McMahon, like, since, he went home, bro, I got to be honest. I would have a real hard time working for Vince McMahon. I would have a real hard time drawing a paycheck from that company. I would, bro. And if I didn't need the job and there were other options, I would choose not to work for that company. That is me. Now, I'm telling you, bro, I'm sure there are some people that are in that category. Like I said, there are some people, regardless of what Vince does, they're going to be there at his beck and call. But you have other people on the fence, bro, that, like, you settled. A woman accused you of rape 30 years ago, and now you're.
Yeah, that makes sense as far as the woman standing up. I mean, if that did happen, I wouldn't blame him one bit, actually, to be honest with you. So let's jump in. Hogan, he didn't really have too much of an impact on Raw. When he came back in 02, he was there for a little while. But, when you think of Hogan, you really don't think of Raw, but he started off, the show. And I would be honest with you, it's good to hear real American,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Hulk
yeah,
opening up this show at all. My note was, does Jimmy Hart ever age?
hey, it's
Oh
looking
my
good, man.
God, bro!
Looking good.
Seriously, like he looked the same he
Yeah,
did 30 freaking years ago.
yeah, absolutely, man. You know what I thought? You know who else I thought didn't make sense that were Lillian Garcia. Like she had a big instrument. Maybe she could have been a guest, ring
What about the
announcer.
Bellas? Where are the
The
Bellas?
Bellas, there was a lot of people that just really didn't. It kind of felt like, I mean, I will say the first hour I was a fan of. I was a fan of the trial. We'll talk about that. I was a
Yeah.
fan of, and we talked about this before. Before the, let's give all some love to the $2 super chat. You look like Rick Moranis with those glasses.
Thank you very much.
Moranis. Oh gosh, don't tell me that
Strange
movie.
Brew, man. Strange Brew, one of
Don't
my
tell me
favorite movies of all time.
that, but also Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I
Right?
Shrunk the Kids,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, but
Yeah,
Strange
Ghostbusters,
Brew,
yeah.
one of my favorite top 10 movies of all time.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, so it was cool with Hogan. Jimmy Hart, looking looking like he did back in 1963. Just out there, just doing his thing, man. And
Bro, if Vince was at this show and was at the gorilla position, I don't know if Vince was there or not. Bro, when they had those mic problems out of the shoot, he must have been going bonkers. But if he was there, he would have been going absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
Hogan tried to play it off as much as he possibly can.
It's live TV, bro. Stuff's gonna happen. I'm not, stuff happens all the time.
It happens. The Bloodline Tribal Court. I was a fan of this, man. Time for Joey early in the 30th anniversary show recap. Joey,
time out, Joey, time out, Joey.
Bro, I have to put this over because this is what my son does for a living, and I worked with so many great people at the WWE who did this.
Okay.
So, bro, we got the Hogan thing. Then we have the Monday Night Raw package.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Guys, you have no idea of the time. Bro, Chris, there are logs and logs and logs of every single show, every segment, what happened. So the first thing they got to do, bro, is they got to go through all those logs. They've got to go through 30 years of material, bro. What were the best things that happened on this show? Then they've got to go to the tape library. They got to pull every show. Then they've got to find that segment of the show. Then they have, these hundreds and hundreds of clips that they're tying together with music, bro. This was a masterpiece that took them a very long time to do. This was not done in a week, bro.
Yeah.
This was done probably over at least a month. People don't understand what goes into these packages, but especially when you're going through 30 years of footage. So I just really, really wanted to put that over, bro, because guys at the TV studio worked really, really hard to put that together.
Rightfully so. You should put it over. I've said this all the time, and it's like, this is one of those things that WWE, they're booking and they're creative, but man, production, hands down, no one can touch them. And it's just, their production is amazing, and it continues to be. And I got to give, I've said this all the time. I got to give them major kudos for their production. And they do a really, really good job at that. I also wanted to mention, while we're at it, just the ability for WWE to gather all of that footage. And like, I edit my my videos on my YouTube channel, and I mean, like a 20-minute video can take like 2 hours to edit. You know what I mean?
People don't know, man. It's
it takes a long time to edit,
Yes,
and I do not like editing, man. So
yeah.
for people to have the patience to be able to put on those types of masterpieces, I got mad respect for that, man. So absolutely. Let's see here. We have yeah. Let's go. Let's go to the tribal court. Let's go to the tribal court here. Oh, before that, we got my boy Raleigh 999 super chat. Hey! Do you think that wrestlers turned down Raw because of McMahon or because of Hulk Hogan? On the WWE YouTube channel, comment said that, quote, even the microphone doesn't want to work with Hulk Hogan.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think it was a Hulk issue. I really don't.
Hogan's still getting some heat with the racist comments, though, man.
Yeah, I know.
Still, he's still. That's man. That's going to continue to be a dark cloud over Hogan. I mean, that's probably going to be a dark cloud over Hogan for the rest of his career, because there's been many times nowadays where he'll get booed, so that's been a thing now, to put a dark cloud over Hogan because of it. So let's talk about this tribal court with Sami Zayn. It starts off with Paul Heyman basically getting the prosecution exhibit, all the exhibits. And he's continuing to state a case a bit altered of why Sami Zayn was in cahoots from, with Kevin Owens from day one. So then he's about to get a Samoan spike by Solo Sikoa based on the evidence of what the tribal chief Roman Reigns saw of him. And then as he's going for the spike, we get, out of everybody from the bloodline, Jey Uso. What a turn of events. Jey Uso, the one who hated Sami Zayn for months, he stops Sami Zayn. He stops Solo Sikoa from hitting Sami Zayn. And he has his own video package of why Sami Zayn should stay in the bloodline. And now you have Roman Reigns saying that he's not guilty for now, and basically he couldn't he finished his duties for the day, can't come back, no events until Saturday. So Vince Russo, how does this set up? How did you think about the court segment? Does that change anything you feel about Sami Zayn?
Yeah, it changes. It changes a lot. First,
how does this set up for Saturday?
I want everybody who says, "Oh, I'm bitter because the WWE won't hire me." I swear, I love when I hear that. I love that, bro. I tweeted out, bro, when we were at the midway point. Okay, here at 7:30 on the East Coast, it would have been 9:30. The first hour and a half, the WWE blew it out the water. This show was great for the first hour and a half, which showed me and told me, bro, they can do it if they want to do it. Because what are we talking about here, Chris? We're talking about effort. The effort was there.
Yeah, and we also talked about how people who are in the Legends segment should put over other people, and we saw that. With DX, we saw that with Taker, which we'll talk about. Definitely putting over the Legends, not just having their standalone segments and just the same thing, but they're being used for the sake of the current talent.
The effort was there. So everybody that gets pissed at me when I bury the show because I'm saying they can do better, and unless you force them to do better, they're just going to phone it in every week. They showed you tonight what they're capable of doing. And I put over the first hour and a half. Bro, the first 2 hours were solid. I think they threw away the third hour. I mean, the first 2 hours were very solid. The last hour, they lost. And we'll get into that too. I thought this whole bloodline trial was very, very solid. Bro, I could tell you, in a million years, Vince McMahon could never write something like this. This, whether it's Heyman, whether it's Reigns, whether it's all of them working together, this is not a Vince McMahon production. Okay. Now, I am going to say this, though, Chris. I got to say it again. Sami Zayn was over huge. It's a Philly crowd. It's a hot crowd. It's a hard crowd. This whole story was over huge. But my point is, bro, this is what I'm trying to explain to people, because I am a casual fan. I am not a hardcore fan. This is very, very, very reminiscent of Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan was over to their hardcore audience, not the casual fans. During that Daniel Bryan period, the ratings did not go up. They did not gain new viewers. The built-in audience they had loved it. And I'm feeling a lot of the same here. Yeah, bro, the built-in audience is into Sami Zayn. They're behind Sami Zayn. They would probably love to see Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns, but I don't think this is appealing to a casual audience at all. I think it's the Bryan Daniels story all over again, bro.
I can see where you're talking about as far as the Bryan Danielson story. I think it could reach to the casual fans just because Roman Reigns has a big presence. And if you're coming in as a casual fan, with Daniel Bryan, he's just like the little. And it was good for the hardcore fans, but for Daniel Bryan, it was like the little engine that could just kind of getting his comeuppance within the company. But if I'm a casual fan and I'm watching Raw for the first time, I'm like, what is this trial thing? I'm really interested. I'm seeing these exhibits. It seems like he's about to get it, but then okay, why did why did he stop him? What's the thing there? And so with the trial court, I think you can use a story like that to bring in people. You just have to keep the momentum going. You have to keep that engine revving. If I come in as a casual fan watching this unfold, that would cause me intrigue to come back next week. As opposed to Daniel Bryan's storyline, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm supposed to already know who this guy is. I'm supposed to know why he's not over. I'm supposed to know why he's a B+ player, what Stephanie McMahon say all the time. So I can see where you're saying there, but I do think that there's some different nuance between the two stories. That the Roman Reigns story is a bit more riveting to me. As a casual fan watching, it will cause me to watch it the next week.
I will tell you this, Chris, and again, this is just me, and I really do feel that I am representing the casual fans, but I will tell you this. When they laid out this story and, Roman Reigns said the final test will be at the Royal Rumble. Now, I got to be honest with you, bro. When he said that, I was kind of interested into what they were going to do.
Yeah, it's a cliffhanger. Yeah.
Hold on. Not interested enough to watch the Royal Rumble.
Not interested enough to watch the Royal Rumble,
right.
Yes. But the cliffhanger, at least, because we would talk about how there's no cliffhangers.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
At least they brought some type of stuff.
And I was interested in that.
Yeah.
But it was still not enough that, my God, I got to watch that Sunday night.
Fair
but
enough.
I was interested. I was interested. Okay, what are they going to make them do? So
Sure.
Yeah, and we always say no cliffhangers. This was a good.
They left one.
Absolutely. Yep. So I'm going to absolutely put that over.
Yeah, at least, again, from a casual standpoint, at least it's like if I'm watching this, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy Peacock or do something like that. But I would be interested in going to like a friend's house or something like that who's watching just to see what's going on. Again, you have to deliver, as far as come Royal Rumble, because when you're setting up something like that for cliffhangers, and you finally get one and you don't deliver, like I told you before, as far as like the game day, the college football team who's not really known as much, you finally get that national exposure. You gotta deliver, man. Because if you lay an egg, people are gonna be like, okay, so this is the reason why I don't watch anyways, and so I'm not going to come back. So we'll see where it goes. It does bring some intrigue. Next we have Jey Uso and Sami Zayn defeating the Judgment Day. See, going over to this segment where Jimmy gets the injury. Sami takes the spot. He's kind of building momentum towards proving himself still with here. So at least there's some continuity here.
I
in
just
between
love
segments.
this is part of the
The
work.
fake
now.
X,
Okay,
yeah.
like this is part of work now. Bro, I got to tell you something, and I've been saying it. Damian Priest looked like a star during this match. I've been saying it. You know what I didn't like though, bro? Like they gotta, bro, every single person in this match wore black. Bro, please, like from Rhea Ripley, there were 8-9 people involved. Everyone's wearing black. Guys, stand out, man. Wear something different.
Yeah, the Usos wear red sometimes
A
too.
little bit. They had a little color in the t-shirt, but that was about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So again,
This
it
was
was
well done, bro. It was
yeah.
over with the people there. They popped. It was well done. Now we understand. Remember we said 2 weeks ago, whatever, the Pierce thing made no sense. Well, they did that in order to set this thing up, which they didn't really need to do. If they didn't do it 2 weeks ago, they could have still done it here.
Yeah.
But I thought, I thought all of this worked very well, bro. And by the time this is over, we're 48 minutes into the show. And I thought
it doesn't feel like it.
I thought the first 48 minutes were very, very well done. I want to make that clear.
Yeah. I felt the same way. I was like, this is really interesting. Like it feels different. It feels fresh. The vibe is different. It doesn't feel like it's dragging. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate that. I was like, could this be turning over a new leaf for, Raw 30, setting up the tone for, these Raws being, feeling quicker and more exciting. So as of now, I was like, okay, this could
Chris,
be different.
it's what we always say. Okay. This can go one of two ways. This could be a stepping stone. They're going to do a huge number tomorrow. I mean, no football, and they're going to do a big number tomorrow. No question. They've got to build on that, bro. We can't go back next week to the same old. They're going to do a number. A lot of people tune in to watch this show. They've got to build on that number, bro.
You think they'll do over 2 finally?
I think so.
Think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bold prediction, ladies and gentlemen, from Vince Russo. They were unrivaled this week, so there's no Monday Night Football. So they could pull over 2, according to Vince Russo. I'll be interested in seeing that. So momentum was on point. Started to go down a bit to me. I like the LA Knight promo and segment. We'll get to that. But then you get to the Baron Corbin JBL gimmick, and then you get to the Godfather and knocking on, the APA door. Ron Simmons goes into the group poker segment.
I didn't understand, bro. This I didn't get. They were burying Corbin.
Yeah.
But then they're calling Corbin a stooge. And I'm like, bro, these guys are not going to be on the show next week. The stooge is going to be on the show. I didn't like that at all. And I really, really did not get that at all. You can call him a stooge, but the guy's got to fire back. Yeah. He's not going to just stand there and let you call him a stooge. So I didn't understand that part of it, bro.
Yeah. I was thinking of that too. I was like, out of all the people who should be put over in this segment, it should be the Baron Corbin out of it.
Who's going to be there next week?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Channel Station 69, $2 super chat. We are here, the Channel Station 69. Keep up the great work. Enjoy your reviews on Raw. Thank you very much, Channel Station 69. It makes me want to talk like a disc jockey every time I see that. Awesome Sauce, $5 super chat. Bro. Chris, you're critical of 80s legends like Hogan and DiBiase, but on a Raw reunion, then when would you bring them for a primetime wrestling reunion? I would, if they had primetime wrestling. Here's the thing. First of all, I said I liked Hogan, Real American, but they didn't have, like, you're bringing back people on a Raw reunion. You're reuniting people from Raw. Like, it's like a class reunion. If I was in a class, and why would I come to a reunion of a class that I wasn't even a part of?
That's a great point, Chris. That's
so it doesn't make any sense to bring people like that to a reunion. What are you? where are you from? Like, I didn't see you in school. Like, why are you coming here? So that's what's weird to me. Like, well, R&R Shyster, cool gimmick. I was watching wrestling then when he was big. Him and DiBiase as Money Incorporated. But as far as like Raw is concerned, not a big contribution. So what are you reuniting with?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Next we have who's next? The LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight in ring promo interrupted by so this is interesting. So basically he cuts his promo. I'm big fan of promo, LA Knight's promo. So gongs come out, and then it turns into ABA Taker, which was interesting. Which I actually like this because you have Taker as the Undertaker, the Dead Man Taker. He had the gimmick, he had the speech, he retired, he put the things down in the Hall of Fame. So it makes a lot of sense that basically he comes out with the ABA gimmick because he kind of retired the Undertaker gimmick. So I actually like that. I mean, that was actually pretty cool. And then he gave the rub to Bray, the choke slam takes it over to the Sister Abigail. So Taker used his popularity to give Bray the rub. I actually like this segment.
What was very interesting about this, though, bro, was when LA Knight, and bro, I don't watch SmackDown, so I don't know LA Knight from Suge Knight. And I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest with you, bro. I'm really seeing this guy for the first time. I'm not impressed by LA Knight. But anyway,
you like him? Is he like Drake?
Where would I have seen him as Eli Drake?
He was in TNA for a while.
I did not when I was there. I don't.
Okay. No,
bro, if I don't watch SmackDown, I certainly ain't watching Impact Wrestling.
I don't know what. I mean, there was some talks of you being there as a consultant in this year and that year. I don't know.
Here's the interesting to me though, when he points out to Taker, you made a comment about the locker room being soft.
Yeah.
We're like, why would you go there, bro? Because now Taker's there in the locker room that he said was soft.
Yeah.
So that was very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, they brought some realism in there. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, like, why go there? Because you're saying one of the all-time legends is saying the people on the other side of that curtain are soft. Bro, if you didn't see Rogan, you didn't know that. So why would you? That was really strange to me. But yeah, bro, I like the Bray stuff. I like the Taker passing him off to Bray. Again, bro, this was 7 minutes. So we're about 55 minutes into the show, and it's great.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Bro. I was a fan. Scott Smith, $5 super chat, bro. People are saying IRS was huge on Raw in 1993. Okay, cool. So Money Inc. was a big in 1993, ladies and gentlemen. That was year 1 out of 30. So like that doesn't really make sense of like, oh, you came here for a year. Oh man, come on in. You know what I mean? Like it still doesn't make sense as far as their contribution to Raw. Chilling back with watching LOR with Vinny Rue and Dr. Chris. Vince, like your views on the current product. As you know, Alexa slayed it with her beauty. Scott likes her.
From the land down under. Our friend Scott from the land down under.
Very nice. Yeah, he's the Aussie, right? He's the one that's is hanging out at it's the next day. It's actually Tuesday for him, right? Very nice. Thank you, Scott, for your contributions as always. Rollin coming through once again. I even thought that the first hour was Vince Russo-esque because it was filled with emotion. The DX segment is where I lost interest in that segment was a big cluster mess, man. We'll talk about that in a minute for sure. Next we have the Lynch. So we have the poker game. with the current stars and legends, I think that's where they put the old women's championship out of the trash can.
I just love the page rib. Like bro, are they going to be standing over this dude's grave ribbing him? Like, when do we stop? When does it stop, bro? When does it stop?
I do not know, and I don't think they know either.
Oy vey.
Yeah. Becky Lynch and Bailey. So they're in the cage, and then this was a gotcha segment. They've been plugging this for the live crowd, and gotcha.
Bro, let me tell you the difference between a Vince Russo show and a non-Vince Russo show. I was absolutely shocked they did not bring Becky back. And Becky demand them to restart the match. They buried her. Yeah. Bro, let's be honest. There is a good chance this is their biggest show of the year. They look at Becky Lynch as being one of their biggest stars of the company.
Yeah.
They're in Philly. You don't bury Becky Lynch in Philly. I was shocked, bro. I was looking at the time, like there was about like 30, 40 minutes left. And I'm like, bro, they're not going to go the rest of the show with Austin. They're going to bring Becky Lynch back. She's going to cut the promo demanding they drop. I 1000% would have done that. I was shocked.
Yeah.
They did. She was not hurt enough, bro, where she couldn't come back.
Yeah. Yeah, she has before. She got, busted open by Nia Jax, and she was still going. So
yeah, this was a swing and a miss for me, an absolute swing and a miss. She needs to, if she's going to be the Austin babyface.
Yeah,
Austin's returning and pulling that cage down himself.
Yeah,
I think they absolutely buried Becky here. Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know what else I thought was, if you're trying to draw heat with the 49ers jersey, the 49ers play Philly in the NFC Championship game.
This
will be the week.
Yeah, Chris,
the 49ers jersey.
Yeah, this would have been the week for Bailey. Very nice, Chris. Yes.
You're missing a week, ladies and gentlemen. You're off a week.
Bro, is it possible that Bailey is a 49er fan but doesn't know that they're playing the Eagles for the? Is that a possibility, bro?
That could be the case. Yeah. Don't we play? You're in Cincinnati. Yeah, you're not playing. Oh okay. This is the week to get the heat.
Point. That's a great freaking point. You wore it last week. You're not going to wear it this week.
Yeah, not this week though. Yeah.
Great point.
Which would have helped Becky more because she would have got heat from Philly, and then Becky would have. Yeah. Okay.
And what was the point, bro? Like, what was this? Like, bro, these youngins, I don't understand why they do half the things they do. What was the point of her sitting up on the cage showing the T-shirt? What was the point of who, bro? This is what I talk about, like realism and reality. If this is real, who would have done that?
Nobody. Yeah.
It's stuff like that I'm like, what do you even know why you're doing that?
Probably promoting her gear, but I appreciated that with Jericho and JBL. They were two people who were really big into really, really staying in their character, and they did not like to have their merch really be plugged, on television. I appreciate that, man, staying in your character like that. Becky gets jumped, so then we get this then we get the DX segment. So I was looking at the DX and I was okay, so here we go with DX again. Then I saw in the background Kurt Angle just walking out with them.
I thought it was Billy for a second. The first glimpse, I'm like, oh my God.
You thought it was Billy? Oh, okay.
For a quick second. And I'm like, no, only one person walks like that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, the height and everything else, and being bald. I was like, I saw the USA stuff, and I was like, huh. So something's here, something's going on here. And so the Alicia, the announcer, she didn't even mention Kurt Angle's name. So I'm like, okay, so this can't be like some type of oversight. And so then I did pop when Angle was like, I always wanted to be a part of DX.
Right. Nah, bro, listen, this
That was
segment,
funny.
this was what it was. And
Yeah.
I was entertained by this segment, especially when it got to Road Dogg's turn to step up.
Yeah. And then
I'm just not.
what's up with like, okay, so I think it ended up being like a big cluster mess in the end of this segment, though, unfortunately. But what about like what's up with Triple H giving like these on-air ribs? Like he ribbed Billy before, and Billy said, he said in interviews that he like really got ticked off about that, and he calls Road Dogg Butterbean. Like what is going, like why would he do something like that and just bury his boy like that and call him Butterbean?
I don't know, bro.
Why would he do that, man? Like
I don't know.
I was like, like that dig could have been like backstage or something like that, man. So, but I don't know. Maybe that's a some
inside
an injection. No, he called him butter. Like of course, you know who Butterbean is. I mean, he called him Butterbean. It was a fat joke.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I'm like, why would you do a fat joke to your boy on national television live on Raw? Like that's something that you work with them. You could have done that like in the hey Butterbean, you get a little big there, you know what I mean? but yeah, let me just embarrass my boy out out in national television. That was a unnecessary dig to me. Then we get the Imperium comes out. And again, I like this because
I'm still fine with the show. I'm still fine with it, bro. I'm going to tell you exactly where it lost me.
Where it starts to,
but I'm fine with all this. I'm still fine with it.
I didn't like the end of it. It just became a big old cluster mess. I did like the fact where everybody from DX backed down. I like that part too because it's showing. Because I was like, this better not end with DX going over Imperium. This better not end that way. And so when Triple H, did the face-to-face, I'm like, of course he's not going to do any type of physical act because of his heart issues. So he's like, I'm not, and I was like, okay, I like that. Sean's kind of looking from the side. I'm too old. Waltman said he's got shin splints. You know what I mean? That was funny. Road Dogg he said no. So that was cool. They all look at Kurt. He's on the side. Kurt's like, no, I'm not doing it. So that stuff, those were subtle ways of putting over Imperium. I did like that. And then Seth Rollins and the Street Profits come out, like just three random people who does that. And then they end up going over Imperium, which I was like to me, I wasn't a big fan of that. I don't think a makeshift team of Seth Rollins and the Street Profits who've been Street Profits been 50-50. I don't think they should have put over. I don't think they should have went over Imperium.
It's a house show. It's a house show match.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was. This is a 100% house show match, bro.
Yeah. Luke Balek with the $4.99 super chat move.
Yes.
Anyway, the polka segment.
Yes, I'm with you. Yes.
Cliff Blingelberty makes a cameo.
Yes. That would have been tremendous. That would have been tremendous.
Yes, it was. Yes, it would have been. I don't watch Raw. I only watch this. So let's do a little Disco Fever real quick on behalf of Luke Black, since he only watches the Legion of Raw and doesn't even watch Raw anymore. That's some dedication right there. Thank you so much, Luke.
Disco fever, disco fever, disco fever. Yeah.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you very much, Luke. Thank you, Luke. That's what happens when you only watch this and don't even watch Raw anymore. You get some disco dance. All right, next we have the 6-man match. Angle is ref. We talked about that. We get another backstage polka segment. We get Joey before that. Let we go.
Time out, Joey. Time out, Joey.
Bro, there are so many left-handed jabs on this show, it's not even funny. Okay. First of all, freaking Lawler insulting the Irish guy to the point of, and who are you? Like, oh my God, bro. Bro, I see now I could see Vince doing that.
Oh, yes.
I could see Vince, but bro, here was another one. Like, and I don't want to get too into this, but when they asked where Michael Cole was and they said he's probably home drinking whiskey, that's another little diggity dig there. And I'm like, holy shit. Like there were a lot of times in this show, bro, where it was like gloves off. Like I got to think like with Godfather and when Godfather and Ron were calling him the did Bradshaw tell them something that he stewed something like there was a lot of inside jabs here, bro.
Well, you know, JBL's notorious for like hazing people in several different ways. So that might have been a hazing, you know, for Corbin, you know, on behalf of JBL for sure. So next we have the polka segment highlighted by JBL and Corbin and Ted DiBiase, Shyster, and Ron Simmons. So, I mean, you know, they Corbin and JBL won. You get your DiBiase throwing the money, IRS doing the no new taxes. You know, be sure to pay your taxes, taking the money in the briefcase. So, what do you think of this segment here?
You got your damn. You got you. Yeah, this was all they were just paying off. DiBiase's fake laugh.
Yeah.
Now you go with the pay your taxes line. It was just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Yep. Next, we have Lashley backstage interview interrupted by MVP. Payoff to this, just kind of early thoughts on the payoff to this. Do you think that Lashley ends up joining the Hurt Business?
I don't know. I just had to say when MVP said something to the effect of the Hurt Business was successful because I was like, did I miss those episodes, bro? like I've watched every show. I would not put successful on the Hurt. So that was the only thing, bro. They're gonna hope everybody forgets the first go round.
Yeah, I think the Benjamin and Shelton, Benjamin and Alexander, when they had the tag team championships, and I believe it was Lashley who had the, I think he had the U.S. title at that time, and so they had a picture of all of them with belts. That was pretty cool, but at the same time, you still have Benjamin and Alexander losing tag team matches. So they're trying to rehire someone who's fired and it's not rehirable. I still, every time they lose matches or they don't get over, I still get that vibe from them. Why would I want to rehire you back? So
I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, I don't get it. Next we have Ric Flair introduces Charlotte Flair, interrupted by Bianca Belair and Sonya Deville. I did the Sonya Deville line as far as like you flew him all the way here to just introduce you. I did like that line. That was a good line to me. That she did.
Here's the word I used. If you could see it here, it's circled.
Stumble?
Yeah, here's where the big stumble came, bro. Like here, bro, literally, they threw the last hour away. And listen, as much as I put over the first, I'll put over the first 2 hours because it died. It died with this match. Come on, guys. You put in a good effort for the first 2 hours. You could not bring this home. You're gonna throw them out. I understand getting Bianca Belair on the show. I understand that, bro. She's the champion. She needs the exposure. I'm with you 1,000%. First of all, I thought they fired Sonya Deville.
She was in some gimmick match a while ago.
Didn't they fire her? Has she been on SmackDown?
I think they fired her from the role of GM. Yeah, she's been on SmackDown.
Okay, well, this is such a throwaway. Now I know. All right, man. They concentrated for 2 hours. Now we're throwing this away. Yeah, bro. They lost everybody with this match, and I wrote a stumble, but I really feel, bro, the rest of the night. It went back to the typical show.
It
bro,
felt normal to me.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this too, bro. Please mark my words. because here's what's happening. They're starting to shove Cody Rhodes down your throat. And you know what happens when they shove somebody down your throat.
Yep.
And they're starting to do that. Bro, the guy tore a pec muscle.
Yep.
He didn't lose a leg.
Yep.
He didn't lose an arm. He tore a freaking pec muscle. You know how many pec muscles have been torn in professional wrestling, Chris? You know how many guys worked with torn pec muscles, bro? They're starting to shove them down your throat. If they put them over in the Rumble, now you're really going to see resistance.
Indeed. So I just released a video from Pancakes and Power Slams, what I talked about last week, and the topic was that it says too forced. So
yeah, I saw
like
it.
basically, yeah. So it's like this basically was the topic that I put. Is it too forced? And basically it was what I was talking about. Like it just feels as if that they're doing it feels a lot like Roman Reignsy, you know, when he was the baby face. And a lot of people are getting to the point where it's like this might be, if he wins the Rumble, I think it'll backfire, man.
I'm telling you, bro.
Backfire.
Chris, I swear to God, I used to be a big, when I was younger, I used to be a big baseball player. Then I was a big softball player, bro. I'll never forget this. I hadn't played softball for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even picked up a glove, bro. And I went out there again, like it was a long absence.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I don't know what I did, but I woke up the next day and my entire right leg was black and blue, like his pec there, bro. My entire leg was black and blue. Chris, I didn't even go to the freaking doctor. You know, this isn't Triple H. If this were Triple H making a comeback, oh, okay, bro. Oh, you tore a freaking pec muscle, bro. You're not freaking Superman. And yeah, you're right, bro. If they put him over in the Rumble, you're gonna see they're gonna get pushback, bro.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I think they should just hold off until SummerSlam if they want to give him a title, man. If they want to keep him as a top, if they want to make him a top babyface on Raw, I think you might have to, you know, hold off until SummerSlam. Have someone win the Rumble, you know, have Roman Reigns, you know, win at Mania, and have Cody do the comeback story. Like I said before, give him more reps. Like the only Cody Rhodes that we've seen on WWE was coming back at WrestleMania last year, staying for a couple of months, having 3 matches against Seth, and then getting injured. So that's all that the WWE have seen of Cody Rhodes. You can't assume that all of WWE is watching AEW, because they're not, because their numbers are much higher than AEW's are. And so you can't assume that. So you're bringing back Cody Rhodes and you're seeing, okay, so he beat our guy, you know, Seth Rollins. He beat him 3 times, and then he's coming back, and now they're giving him promo packages, video packages, and then he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Like, okay, I'm starting to back out on this a little bit. He got the honeymoon, you know, return, but I think we're getting to the point of like, okay, no, it's starting to feel uncomfortable. You're shoving them down our throats. So I don't see this working out very well if they give him the title. If they give him the Rumble win. So Dan with the 199 super chat, bro. Cody is going to be the next Bautista. That would be interesting.
Actually, it says Cody is going to be the next Bautista.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. So it's Batista.
No, it's Bautista.
They call him Bautista because he got booed when he won the
yeah. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you.
Yeah, so Bautista. So
Bautista.
He was Bautista, and then he was Bautista when he won.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they booed him when he came back because everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win that year. I think they were in Philly actually. That's the year that The Rock came back and kind of helped Roman Reigns win the title, win the Royal Rumble, and they booed the heck out of Reigns too, and they booed the heck out of Batista when he won the Royal Rumble, and they called him Batista, and then he started wearing blue. There was a pay-per-view where I think it was the Evolution versus the Shield, and he wore nothing but blue, and they started calling him Blue Tista. So
And
that's
now he's a huge movie star.
yes, now he's cha-ching Choo Chista.
Chingsta, yes.
Yes, indeed. Doing really good. I ended up watching Glass Onion. I ended up watching that movie. Did you watch it?
I saw the first one, but not the second one.
So I saw the one that he was in. He was Duke. He did a good job. It drug for me. Like my wife and I, we hang out and a lot, and we watched it, and I was like, yeah, let's watch Glass Onion because Batista's in it, and it was cool at the end, but it drug.
This new movie's gonna make him, bro. The M. Night Shyamalan gimmick. Then that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's gonna make him.
Yeah.
That movie, I think, is gonna make him, bro.
Nice, yeah. Because Glass Onion, he definitely played a supporting role.
Yeah, no, he's the main role in the movie.
Nice. Yeah, that should be fun. Next we have Cody Rhodes. We talked about that. The Miz cuts an in-ring promo and interrupted by Kevin Owens. This is
This to me again. This again is the casual fan in Vince Russo, and this is the problem I have, bro. If you have casual fans tuning into this, I swear to God, what every casual fan is saying is, does this guy actually think he's Steve Austin? Because he's not Steve Austin. As a matter of fact, he's a far cry from, bro. I hate them painting him in a Steve Austin role. Kevin Owens is not a Steve Austin. I'm sorry, bro. He's not, and I'm telling you, that's how casual fans perceive it. For him to come in and be stunning everybody. He's not Austin, bro. He'll never be Austin. Why would you want to put a guy like that in a position like that?
The prize fighter gimmick, and that he's a here's the problem. Here's the problem with what I have with him doing the stunner. Now, Kevin Owens by himself, a lot of people like him. A lot of people like him as far as the house crowd, the hardcore fans.
Right.
But to your point, Vince, like he's kind of being booked like a great value Steve Austin. He's kind of being booked to that knockoff brand, Steve Austin, and you don't want you don't want him to have that casual appearance because the hardcore fans are going to like you. But what is it about Kevin Owens that a casual fan looks at and doesn't say, oh, it's stunner, what are you doing, what are you trying to do, no nonsense, defies everything, somebody did this 25 years ago. So I'm hoping that Kevin Owens recognizes that and maybe have some type of say-so in the back, especially with Triple H, well, he was at the helm for a while. He's still doing the creative and stuff like that. Do you think that someone like a Kevin Owens is just kind of okay, well, I'm glad I got a spot? Or do you think that he's I'm cool with where I'm at and there's no need to say anything?
I really believe all of these wrestlers today, all of them, bro, go down the list. Okay, bro, because you've got such a hardcore audience. I think they all think they're over. But their definition of over and my definition of over are two completely different things, bro.
Yeah.
Over to me, bro, is when Steve, think of this, bro. Steve Austin walking through an airport.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens walking through an airport.
Yeah, the airport test. Yeah.
That's it, bro. I mean, case closed. I think they all think from NXT and those crowds at Full Sail to now they got the hardcores there. I think they have a false sense of being over when they're just not over to the masses, bro.
Well, the standard's so low though. Like you'll get a holy crap chant or this is awesome chant, or the crowd has really turned the tides on professional wrestling. Like the crowd always wants to put themselves over. So it really doesn't matter like the intensity of like what's going on in the ring. They just need a couple big flippy spots just to get a chant in, you know what I mean? Just to put themselves over. So we're seeing a lot of that when it comes to like today's generation of wrestling. And so it really sets the bar very, very low for someone to really build their character, but instead risk injury every single time they step in a ring to get that big spot. That's a big change that we've seen from this era to know compared to the last.
And Chris, here's another thing. And again, bro, these little things are the difference between Vince Russo booking and somebody else booking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chris, I put over the first 2 hours. The third hour is a completely different show, and you're completely losing them. Chris, if I'm writing this show, first of all, I would have never lost them in the third hour because the third hour would have been as compelling as the next two,
especially on the go home show.
Right, but say they're looking at the third hour and they know that it's getting a little. This is the first 2 hours were much stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, if I'm writing this show right after Kathy Kelly and Bobby Lashley and MVP, I think we go to commercial break after that. Right after that, bro, all you have to do is show a pickup truck pulling up in the back. That's all you have to do. Who is this? Were there any other invited guests? Then, bro, you go to Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair. As soon as the match is over with DeVille and Belair, you go back to we know it's freaking Brock Lesnar, but that's why we're staying with the show, bro.
Yeah.
It's called don't kayfabe yourself. You totally kayfabed yourself here. The last hour is the drizzling you-know-what's. All you had to do was park that truck out there, bro. People know it's Brock. You're telling people Brock is coming at the end of the show. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
This is what I mean, bro. These are huge, huge misses. Bro, seriously, Chris, this could mean 200,000 people, more people watching. Literally, Brock is here. He's going to come at the end of this match. Why you would kayfabe yourself in this spot, I have no idea, bro.
Great point. Luke Balek, once again. Not a Cornette guy, but this Cody description is great. He's got a chest tattoo on his neck and a neck tattoo on his chest. That's how Cornette described Cody Rhodes.
He's got a neck tattoo. He's got a chest tattoo on his neck. What's his chest tattoo? What is that? That should be on his neck.
It has Dream on it. I think it's just Dream.
Oh, so Dream should be written on his neck, and
then he has the nightmare gimmick on his neck. Yeah. So the final segment of the night was Austin Theory and Lashley. This led to Brock Lesnar interfering, F5's Lashley, and then F5's Theory on top of him. So he comes back. I knew that it was going to be Lesnar. I knew, like, there's no way that they're doing this Raw 30 just to set up, with the main event of Lashley and Theory without something bigger happening. So I figured that was going to happen. And then Lesnar coming out, and I said this weeks and weeks ago, I thought that they were going to do a trilogy of Lashley and Lesnar because they went against each other early last year. Lashley won, and then they went against each other in Saudi, I believe it was. Lesnar won, and so the rubber match. So, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine with um, Lesnar coming out and costing Lashley. It protects Lashley, and it also gives Lashley an opportunity to beat Lesnar and get that rub from him. I just hope that it doesn't lead into any type of, daggone hurt business coming out and helping, Lesnar. That wouldn't make any sense to me at all. I mean, helping Lashley, that wouldn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah. Bro, is Austin Theory in the Royal Rumble?
I believe he is.
Yeah, because bro, here's bro, if you look at Austin Theory now, okay, Lashley's now with Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
He's already passed Rollins.
Yeah.
Who that means anything are they going to put with Austin Theory on the show? So what I'm thinking, bro, is they do something at the Royal Rumble and they put Ashley with what's his face? Rhodes.
You said it put Ashley?
Not Ashley. Theory.
Okay.
I think they put Theory with Cody. Because who else are you going to put Theory with? Bro, the guy's not over. Mm-hmm. So if you want to elevate him, he already was with Lashley. Mm-hmm. He already was with Rollins. How are you going to elevate him, bro? You going to put him in a program with Dolph Ziggler? So maybe that's what they do, bro. Maybe they put Cody in a program with Austin Theory first before they move him up the ladder. I don't know. I'm looking at Austin Theory and I'm like, okay, bro, like this guy's not over yet. You need to continue to build him. You gonna put him in a program with Elias?
No, you're not. But people are still saying Cena though, and then that would just wash the U.S. Championship away.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If John Cena puts over Austin Theory, he's an absolute idiot. I'll tell you that right now.
Even for the paycheck.
Right now, bro. With all due respect, he's an idiot.
Why is he an idiot?
Because he's not putting over a guy that's over.
So he's not. So Theory's not over, and say they give Cena a big payday and say, hey, I need you to put over, Austin Theory.
Bro,
he did that to Bray a couple years ago.
Cena could pass the torch and take the big payday and do all the stuff. The only problem with it is none of it is believable because today, the way these two, this is, bro, I'm not talking as a shoot here. Maybe Austin Theory could beat John Cena up in a fight. I don't know. I am talking about the way both of these characters were built. Mm-hmm. If an Austin Theory all of a sudden beats John Cena, nobody would believe it. He's not at that level.
Yeah, I've said this several times. I don't see Theory. It doesn't really matter who he beats. He's at a stage now where like it doesn't matter really who you bring in legends wise. Him beating the legends make the legends worse more than him up, you know what I mean? And that's how I feel like that. Like I said, to me, the only thing that will work with Theory to really hit a reset button with him is for him to just obliterate Vince McMahon.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that, bro. Because, bro, we just saw this match with Lashley, mm-hmm. and the takeaway is he would have lost if Brock Lesnar didn't hit the ring. Right. So I don't know how this did not elevate him at all.
Right.
I mean, he was done. He would have lost the match if it was not for Lesnar. So this didn't elevate him.
Who's out there to go against Theory, man? Like we talked about this as far as babyface. You don't want to do Seth again. He's a babyface. You're not going to do Lashley again. He's a babyface. Who's your top baby? Who else?
Unless you bring somebody over from the SmackDown roster.
And SmackDown doesn't have a ton. I mean, they have Bray. Bray's not going to do a U.S.
Drew McIntyre.
I was thinking Drew.
But again, do you buy that?
No.
Do you buy
Drew in theory?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you
No.
buy that, bro? Come on, man.
No. Yeah, again, that's where it goes back to characters over matches, man.
Yeah.
Like you can have 100 big holy crap, this is awesome spot fest matches, but if it's not establishing and building characters, we're going to have these these conversations every week of who's the top baby face to go against Theory, because right now there's a huge deficit. Rollin, we'll close out with Rollin with the 999 super chat, bro. I didn't like the DX segment. They indirectly acknowledged Billy Gunn.
That's a good point too.
But they lost me when they didn't directly, or at least indirectly, acknowledge that the late great China for the 30th Raw anniversary. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ron. I wasn't even thinking about that, but that's an excellent point.
They should have. They definitely should have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who you are going to acknowledge is the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion. This guy and former WWE head writer. When Raw was cool and the Raw 30th anniversary was highly, highly exciting and electric, when every week there were Stone Cold segments, Mick Foley, The Undertaker, Triple H, at all. And this
Bro,
guy,
you want to hear something very interesting too? Remember we were talking about Vince McMahon and maybe some people not wanting to be associated with him. Maybe they weren't there.
Yep.
I told you Mick's very political. Bro, another big name, not there, and I would understand why. Glenn Jacobs.
Okay, yeah.
Now he would not with what's
he was advertised too.
Well, with what's going on with Vince, I don't think a guy in his position.
Interesting.
I don't think that would have been a good move, bro. People are paying this. Let me explain this to somebody. Rita Chatterton accused Vince McMahon of raping her 30 years ago. 30 years ago, Rita has been telling the same story for the past 30 years. Now, when everything went down, she filed a lawsuit. And Vince McMahon settled that lawsuit and paid her off. Let me explain something to everybody. I understand they want to sell the company. They got to get rid of all this crap, Chris. I understand that. Bro, Vince McMahon ain't paying anybody a dime if he's not guilty. Vince McMahon does not give away free money. So him settling with Rita Chatterton is a big deal. And I'm telling you, bro, there were probably a lot of people within the company. And I'm talking about people that work there as well, not just old legends not coming back. But there are probably people in that company that work there as well saying, wait a minute, bro, you kind of just confessed to rape. Do I really see, bro, these are the things that nobody talks about because we're worried about who gets 5 stars in a fake wrestling match.
Right.
These are the important things, bro, because things like this are going to have a great impact on the company.
For sure. Absolutely. I think he didn't want to continue to be, stretched and dragged, as saying, okay, well, he deals with narcissism, so he can do no wrong. So what he did is, instead of just dragging this out, seemingly, instead of just dragging this out, and if I'm finalizing a deal, we talked about that with Nick Khan, basically saying that they've closed the deal. So just to get rid of any person going through the ringer with him in a trial, let's just make a settlement, let's just make an offer and just put it under the table, basically, is what it seems like.
Chris, doctor,
Vince.
If you are accused of rape and you are innocent and you did not do it, under any circumstances, are you going to settle?
No. No.
I'm not.
No.
I'm certainly not. I don't care what the circumstances are. Can you imagine you accuse me of something like that and I am innocent? It never happened and I'm going to hand you money? Bro, come on, bro. Like
a lot of
money. But anyway, but
here's the thing. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that he doesn't want it to be stretched on. So there's a deal that's closing as far as changing him and no longer being the company. So what this seems like is I'm not denying that there's a mission to guilt indirectly, because clearly there is. If there's no guilty, why am I paying you? So what it seems like is there's a settlement that basically hushed her up and say, okay, let's just make this agreement so we can just put this under the table so we can move forward with with the sale, and that we don't make Vince McMahon look like he lost something. So, because if it was a big old trial and things like that, that would lower the reputation of Vince McMahon, and he's already under a lot of fire last year. So he's just like, okay, in his mind, I did it, which in essence, there had to be something to happen if you're going to pay someone that amount of money. So yeah, I said this in a previous conversation that we had, and I said it jokingly, but it is true though. I'm like, look, if you got if Vince McMahon sneezed on you wrong, now's the time to sue him, because
bro,
he'll give it to you.
Here's what I think we're gonna, if bro, who know, Raw 31, who knows if they'll even own the company. But I think what you're starting to see, bro, is, and I think it might have been an indication on this show, you're seeing the loyalist. I mean, bro, you really are seeing those that are loyal to Vince. And you may have had some people on the bubble that are now.
Yeah. Because and people who just need a paycheck too.
Yeah, need a paycheck, but people that are really like Taker, bro. Taker's going to be there. X-Pac's going to be there. Road Dogg, Shawn, Triple H all still work there. Yeah. You're really seeing the loyalist or people that need a paycheck.
Yeah, yeah. Indeed. Well, this guy doesn't need a paycheck. He deserves one with all the merit that he does. He is a former WWE head writer, former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Vince Russo. I am Dr. Chris, your host of the Legion of Raw. This is the Sportskeeda Nation. Like, share, subscribe. Have a good night, everybody. Solo!